Most people think they know why they're failing at weight loss. They blame themselves. They say things like, "I have no discipline," or "I just love food too much," or "Maybe this is just how my body is." And every single time they try again, a new diet, a new workout plan, a new promise to themselves, it falls apart within 2 weeks. And the shame that follows? That feeling of being weak, of being the problem, that stays much longer than the diet ever did. But what if the problem was never you? What if everything you've been told about losing weight is missing the most important pieces? The pieces that doctors actually use themselves. Not what they write on a prescription pad, not the generic advice they give in a rushed 10-minute appointment. What they personally do. What they tell their close friends and family. What the science actually says when you dig past the headlines. That's exactly what this is about. And I promise you, by the end of this, you're going to look at your body, your hunger, and your habits in a completely different way. Let's talk about the moment your day actually begins, because most people are already making their biggest mistake before they've even left their bedroom. The second you wake up, your body is running on a hormonal clock that was set hours ago during your sleep. Your cortisol is naturally elevated in the morning. That's normal, that's actually healthy. But if the first thing you do is reach for your phone, scroll through stressful news, check your messages, your cortisol spikes even higher. And elevated cortisol tells your body one thing: store fat, hold on to energy. We might be in danger. Your body doesn't know the difference between a stressful email and a physical threat. It responds the same way. So before doctors do anything else in the morning, before the coffee, before the phone, they hydrate. 500 milliliters of plain water within the first 20 minutes of waking up, because research shows this single habit can increase your metabolic rate by up to 30% for the next 40 minutes. That sounds small, but here's the thing about small. When you do it every single day for a year, it adds up to thousands of extra calories burned. Doing nothing different except drinking water first. And the deeper reason this works isn't just metabolism. It's because most of the time when you feel that gnawing, restless hunger in the morning, your body isn't actually asking for food. It's asking for water. Your brain uses the same signal for both. The same alarm goes off whether you're dehydrated or genuinely hungry. So you eat. And you're still not satisfied. Because you never gave your body what it was actually asking for. Now here's something that will completely change how you think about hunger itself. There is a hormone in your body called ghrelin. Scientists call it the hunger hormone. And ghrelin doesn't just respond to what you eat, it responds to how you sleep. When you sleep less than 6 hours, even just one night, your ghrelin levels spike significantly the next day. You wake up hungrier. You crave denser, higher-calorie foods. Your brain's reward system becomes more sensitive to junk food specifically. And your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for willpower and rational decision-making, is running at reduced capacity. So you want more bad food, and you have less ability to resist it. All from one bad night of sleep. Doctors who specialize in metabolism understand this deeply. They don't treat sleep as a luxury or a reward for a productive day. They protect it like a prescription. Because no amount of motivation, no amount of, "I'll be stronger this time," can consistently override a hormonal signal your own body is producing. Willpower is not the foundation of weight loss. Biology is. And when you fix the biology, the behavior follows naturally. But sleep alone isn't enough if you're still fighting your body's most powerful survival mechanism. And this next one is the thing almost no one talks about. Your body has a built-in system that is specifically designed to make weight loss hard. It's not a flaw. It's a feature that kept your ancestors alive during famines. When you cut calories significantly, your body doesn't just burn stored fat. It also slows down your metabolism. It reduces the energy you burn at rest. It increases hunger signals. It makes food more pleasurable and rewarding to your brain. It is fighting you. Actively, intelligently, persistently fighting you. And the traditional approach, eat less, suffer more, push through, directly activates this survival system. This is why crash diets work for 2 weeks and then completely fall apart. Your body wins. It always wins in a prolonged battle of deprivation. So what do doctors actually do instead? They don't fight the system, they work with it. They focus on protein. Not because protein is magic, but because protein is the one macronutrient that genuinely satisfies hunger at a hormonal level. High protein intake increases levels of peptide YY, a hormone that makes you feel full, while simultaneously reducing ghrelin, that hunger hormone we just talked about. It also has the highest thermic effect of any food, meaning your body burns more calories just digesting it compared to carbohydrates or fats. And critically, when you're in a calorie deficit, protein protects your muscle mass. This matters enormously. Because muscle is metabolically active tissue. The more muscle you have, the more calories your body burns at rest. When people lose weight through crash diets without adequate protein, they don't just lose fat, they lose muscle. And with less muscle, their metabolism slows down even further, so they need even fewer calories to maintain their weight. And the cycle gets harder and harder until it becomes seemingly impossible. The doctors who stay lean long-term aren't obsessing over calories. They're making sure that at every meal, protein comes first. And speaking of meals, there's something happening at your dinner table that has nothing to do with what you're eating. It has to do with how fast you're eating it. Your body has a satiety feedback loop, a communication system between your gut and your brain that signals when you're full. But this system has a delay. It takes approximately 15 to 20 minutes from the moment your stomach starts filling up for the signal to reach your brain clearly. So if you eat quickly, the way most of us do, especially during busy days, eating while working or scrolling or watching TV, you can consume hundreds of extra calories before your brain even registers that you've had enough. Doctors know this, and the simple, almost embarrassingly basic thing they do is slow down. They put the fork down between bites. They chew more deliberately. They eat without screens. Not because of some mindfulness trend, but because of basic physiology. When you give your brain time to catch up to your stomach, you naturally eat less without feeling deprived. You don't need to count a single calorie. You just need to stop eating faster than your body can communicate. Now let's talk about something that nobody wants to hear, but everyone needs to know. Stress is making you fat. Not metaphorically, not indirectly. Biochemically, directly, measurably making you fat. Chronic stress keeps cortisol elevated throughout the day. And cortisol doesn't just signal your body to store fat, it specifically signals it to store fat in your abdomen, around your organs, the most dangerous place. This is why people who are under sustained stress, long work hours, difficult relationships, financial pressure, emotional exhaustion, often gain weight even when they're eating reasonably well and trying to exercise. Their internal chemistry is working against every effort they make externally. Doctors deal with enormous stress. The good ones know that if they don't manage it, their health collapses regardless of everything else they do. So, stress management isn't a soft, optional bonus in their lives. It's a non-negotiable pillar of physical health. Even 10 minutes of genuine decompression, a walk outside without your phone, slow breathing, sitting quietly, has measurable effects on cortisol levels. You are not weak for being affected by stress. Your body is doing exactly what it evolved to do. The question is whether you give it a chance to come back down. Here's one that sounds too simple to be real, and yet the research behind it is overwhelming. Sunlight. Specifically, morning sunlight, within the first hour of waking. When natural light enters your eyes in the morning, it sets your body's internal clock, your circadian rhythm. This regulates not just sleep, but also your metabolism, your hormone production, your insulin sensitivity, and your energy levels throughout the day. People who get consistent morning light exposure have been shown to have lower body mass indexes on average compared to those who spend their mornings in artificial light or darkness. It also anchors your sleep cycle, which loops back to everything we talked about with ghrelin and cortisol. 10 minutes outside in the morning, not through a window because glass filters the wavelengths your body needs, is one of the most underrated health tools that costs absolutely nothing. And finally, this last one is the one that might sting a little, but it's the most important of everything I've said today. Most people approach weight loss as a temporary project, a sprint. Something they do for a few weeks until they hit a number on a scale, and then they go back to their normal life. But the weight comes back because the normal life is exactly what created the weight in the first place. Doctors who maintain healthy weight long-term don't do it because they're always on a diet. They do it because they've built an identity around how they treat their body. They don't say, "I'm trying to eat healthy." They say, "I eat this way." They don't say, "I'm trying to exercise." They say, "I'm someone who moves every day." Identity drives behavior at a level that motivation simply cannot sustain. Motivation fades. It was never designed to be permanent. But identity, who you believe you are, shapes every small decision you make automatically, without willpower, without effort, without fighting yourself. The shift from "I'm trying to lose weight" to "I'm someone who takes care of their body" is not just semantic, it is the entire game. Because from that identity, every choice becomes easier. Not perfect, not effortless, but aligned with something you actually believe about yourself. You were never the problem. The information you were given was. Your body is not broken. It is responding exactly as it was designed to respond. To dehydration, to sleep deprivation, to stress, to speed, to disconnection from natural rhythms. Give it what it actually needs, and it will do what it was always capable of doing. The only question is whether you start today, or wait for a version of yourself that's somehow more ready, more motivated, more deserving of feeling good in your own body. That version isn't coming, but you're already here.